everyone. Welcome to ETimes. Today we've got Kiara Advani with us, and we're going to talk a lot of things, especially about her super hit film Shershaah. Welcome, Kiara. Welcome to ETimes.
Thank you so much.
So, how does it feel? I mean, it's been almost 2 months since Shershaah released, and people are still talking about it. There's so much of praise on social media. You guys have got such great feedback. How does it feel?
I mean, I think we're all so charged up now for everything else that's to come because it's been so overwhelming, the feedback. It's been, like you said, 2 months. And after 2 months, we're doing this interview. I mean, of course, because of time and all, but we're finally doing it. And it's still so, it's so fresh in everybody's minds. And it's still, I think that's the beauty of OTT also, that you still have people watching it. It's still going strong. And it's received so much love. I think it's outdone anything we had all imagined it to have, been. We knew it was special, but this level of it is something else.
Right. I mean, I'm sure there must have been expectations from your side because, in the middle of the pandemic, I mean, usually we are all used to having our films released in theaters and then sort of choosing the OTT route. So, I mean, what sort of reservations, what sort of expectations did you guys have? And once you've seen this kind of success, how different was your expectation as to what it's turned out to be?
I feel like, I've had films of mine that have, released on OTT. I mean, even I did a film called Guilty, which was a original OTT original that we made, which that came out just when we went into a lockdown and the pandemic hit. So I think I had already experienced the kind of appreciation and the kind of love that one can get from that platform. This superseded all of that because the film itself was, so widely loved and, connected with everyone. Of course, we did make it for the theaters. So there was that was also a reason why we had held on to the film till it finally went on to OTT, because we thought, shayad khulenge, maybe we'll get to put it on the big screen. Just to give the audience that visual experience. I mean, even today when people who watch the film keep saying, "Arey yaar, ye theater wali film thi," and this and that. And in a way, it's a compliment also, but in a way, we're still happy that, the love that the film is getting and the film got is what it deserved. It went beyond that, and a good film is a good film. So whether it comes out, whether you're watching it at home or in the theater, if it's a good film, it'll touch you and it'll still receive that same response. And I think Shershaah kind of did that for the whole industry in a way, to give you that confidence that if your work is good, it's going to get that love. And, we've seen incredible films and shows on OTT in the last 2 years that we've all been in this pandemic, where somewhere as consumers, you've been exposed to content that's so brilliant that you're constantly thinking of, what are you doing? What's different? How can we do things that are different? How can we up the game? And Shershaah got that kind of love, not just from India, but world over. Be it the songs being chart busters and going on the Billboard charts and still ruling those charts. It just feels like it's such a huge moment and it's such an honor and it's so overwhelming.
Right. I mean, I think you had the maximum number of releases on OTT. I mean, in the entire crew of Shershaah. So were you the expert? Were you sort of giving advice ki nahi, it is a good platform we can manage? Because I mean, as you said, you had Guilty. I think you had Love for Square Foot and so many more films.
Stories, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like if the film always speaks for itself. There's nothing that, as actors, you do your job, you make the film, and after that, it has its own journey with the audience. And it's all the work, everything that you could have done, you did when you were making the film. Thereafter, it's the audience to see how they lap it up. And this one got all that love because of the story that it is, of, the man behind the story, and of course the performances and the way we had made the film. So we always somewhere knew that we have a very special film with us at hand. So we were just waiting for the audience to see it.
And this is something that, even while I was watching the film, I really wanted to know the character of Dimple Cheema. It's so heartwarming. It's heartwarming also, and it's heart rendering also. The journey that she goes through from being such a likable person to, and in the end having such a such a sort of a tragic end to her romance, so to speak, and to her friendship with Major Vikram Batra as well. So, I mean, I'm sure you must have spoken to her. And what sort of experience did you have with her? How do you assess her as a person with whatever experiences you had with her?
She's an extremely private person. So of course I want to respect that privacy and give her that. And yet she's shared such a huge part of her life and story with us, just for her love for Captain Vikram Batra. So my respect and admiration for her, I mean, no amount of words would do justice to it. So I feel in a way, just playing her part with the truest intention and kind of wanting to just relive that journey, for her and recreate it for the audience to make them feel that way was what we made and what we did. And the fact that you cry with her and it does leave you, like you said, it's heart rendering as well. It's just it was that's exactly how I felt when I heard the story, when I played the part and portrayed her on screen. And it's just something that's always going to stay with me, even more than it just being a film that I was a part of. It's always going to stay with me even as a personal experience.
Have you guys spoken after the release of the film?
Yes, we've spoken out.
What did she have to say about your performance, the way
It's
she saw
too
herself?
emotional for her to watch the film. So she didn't want to at that point immediately watch it. She was only hearing from everybody else, her family members, her friends. And she had, at that till then, she had only seen like all the songs and the promos that were out, and that itself had made her very emotional. But we had a lovely chat, and I think that's something that will always, again, for me, be very personal. So I think for all of us to just respect her privacy, and that's how she likes it. So I wouldn't want to,
Right. So another one of the standout features of the film was your chemistry with Sidharth. So I mean, how was the rapport while making the film? How were you guys? I mean, were you guys hanging out? What was the experience like of working with him? And how did that translate into the film on screen?
I mean, honestly, you can't create chemistry or anything like that. It's always in the scene, in the story, in what's written. No two actors can just go and create something that's not on paper, that's not being shot, for the audience to feel that way. So I think full credit of that goes to Vishnu sir, our director, and Sandeep sir, the writer, who very beautifully written the story and especially the romance of the film. And honestly, it's Captain Vikram Batra and Dimple. It's their story. It's all true. Everything that we portrayed was exactly what happened in their real life. So had she not shared that story, or had we not known of it through his family and friends, we would not have been able to recreate it. So, I mean, it's the fact that it's a true story that makes it that much more special. And then somewhere both of us can say, okay, we acted well and did our parts well and got into it well as well. But it was lovely. I mean, Sid's a wonderful co-star and he's a wonderful co-actor. So it just makes it easier then to work with someone.
In an interview with ETimes, you had said during the promotions of Shershaah that, and this was about Sidharth, that, as a friend, and I'm quoting you here, as a friend, I'd say he's one of my closest friends in the industry. So the question here being, how do you value your friendship with Sidharth? And another corollary to that is, how easy or how difficult is it to forge friendships in a competitive industry like ours?
I think I can actually count my friends on my fingertips. For me, if I'm friends with someone, then as a Leo, I'm a very loyal friend. So I value all my friendships, be it with Sid or be it with anyone who I've taken as a friend. Even whether it's from the industry or my world outside, which has nothing to do with the industry. For me, I hold my friends very close to my heart, and I make time. I like that. What was your second question?
Is it really hard? Is it hard or is it easy to forge these friendships in the film industry? Because it's a competitive environment,
I think fortunately, I've gotten on very well with every single co-actor that I've worked on. I can actually call most of them my friends. Be it Vicky, be it Varun, be it anyone that I've actually worked with. I think they're all incredible actors. Even my directors. I still have a great rapport with each of them. And I feel for me, it's very important when I'm working on a film set to kind of have that energy around, to have, because it does translate on screen. You spend so much time of your life together. Um, it's not, it's our job is such that it's so complex that you end up becoming like a family for that amount of, those amount of days that you're together. So for me, I think whoever I've worked with, I've touched wood, had a great working equation. And till date, I think even if we're not working together, we may not talk every day, but when we do catch up, I mean, we're there for one another, we care about one another, and that's I think it's person to person. I mean, that's how I am with people around me, people I work with. So I've never found it hard. Fortunately, I've worked with wonderful co-actors, and I hope to continue that, and that's how I hopefully will be.
The way Dimple Cheema has, the affection for someone, for obviously Major Vikram Batra, do you feel you could have had the same intensity of love and affection for someone? I mean, are you able to relate to that sort of very heavy, intense feeling on a personal level?
Yeah, I think I am. I am a romantic at heart like that. I mean, and I do kind of in my head have this eternal romance uh, that I feel I'm like that, and we call it old school. Sometimes we call it, that very pure, intense love. But that's somewhere even personally. Maybe that's why I connected to the story so much when I heard of it as well and connected with her. And yeah, I think you're lucky if you get that kind of love in your life. I would love for that to be to have a partnership like that with someone like she did. I think the years that they had together were just so beautiful um, and just so honest and so lovely from whatever we've heard from them.
And now moving on to your career, I mean, this is an observation I made, Kabir Singh in 2019, Shershaah in 2021, and even in between the lull period of 2020 where everything was shut, you had a Lakshmi releasing on OTT. Now, all these films were the most talked about films of the year. So, are you sort of making a habit out of this? Are you going to feature in the standout movie of every year? Is that, are you like obsessed with the spotlight on you?
I would love to feature on the standout. I'd love to make sure that my movie is a standout movie every year. Yeah, that's what we hope for every movie that we're a part of. And I hope now the ones that come out also are as loved by the audience. But yeah, I think I'm blessed that the films that, I mean, be it whether Kabir or of course Shershaah, that it's received the kind of love. This unanimous response and love for Shershaah has been just so incredibly motivating. I can't even tell.
But do you think you're in a purple patch in your career? I mean, do you think? How do you feel about this?
I feel like I'm at it feels like like you must be chilling now and everything must be good, but it's not. It just gets harder, in fact. But I think the most important thing is to enjoy what you do, and I think I'm doing what I love to do. I've always wanted to be an actor, and here I am getting the kind of work I wanted to get. So I'm very grateful for this, and I think it's we're in a profession where we get the opportunity to touch so many lives and to entertain so many people and move so many people. You may be having not a great day, and you can watch a good movie, and that can make you feel good. And that's what I do. Sometimes I watch a good movie, and I just feel it just makes me feel happy. So I think we're really blessed in this profession that we're at, and I think I'm very grateful for it. That's all I would say, and that motivates me to want to just do better and entertain you all with more and better content.
So, I mean, now that you've seen a great amount of success, looking back, when you were expecting for this success to come, probably at the beginning of your career, now looking back, this what you're feeling right now, does it live up to the expectations that you had back then? Had you imagined that success would be like this? Does it sort of measure up? Does it not measure up?
I don't know what my expectations of it was back then. I knew that I really wanted the thing is, your goals keep changing then when you want to do that. When I started off, I just wanted to really, I wanted to be an actor and I wanted to work. And at that point, there was a lull in my life where I didn't get. There were days I was at home. There was not even days, it was months. It was almost like a year that I wasn't, working. I wasn't a working actor. And at that point, my goal was I want to work. I want to go on set. I want to, I want to act. I want to be able to make movies and tell stories. And the options were not as many as they are today. So at that point, I just wanted to be on set and I just wanted to work, and I did that. Then I just got lucky that one thing led to another, and then the films I started doing were, big blockbusters, like when Kabir Singh came, and then Good News came, and then Guilty got the kind of love, and then one by one it was, the films were appreciated, my performances were appreciated, and I started getting the kind of work and the love, and from the industry as well, where I was getting roles and I was being offered parts that were exciting, that were challenging, that were, there was a choice there, which I didn't have when I had started off in my first 2-3 years of working. And now it's that phase where you've got the choices, but now how do you choose from these choices? Because you can't do everything. Which one is, what's exciting you, what's driving you to go to work? What do you feel passionately about that you want to tell? Somewhere you start taking a sense of responsibility. You're in a position like today, I feel like, okay, now I have, fans, I have younger fans who are looking up to me now. What are the kind of films, that I would even want to take, which I feel like, I should be telling certain stories, or I should shoulder this, or I should, challenge myself and take something up. So that's a personal and professional ground that you're also kind of understanding. Personally, you want to challenge yourself as an actor. You want to take up different roles. Like, I'm longing to do an action film. I want to do a period film. And I think that's just been like the driving force, like keep trying to do something different, and, something that I didn't expect from myself. Like, I remember when Guilty was offered to me, I was almost like, but I mean, how do you, and I just come from Kabir Singh. I'm like, how has they seen this character or me in this character? But that scared me, but challenged me. And that journey was probably the most satisfying journey for me personally from all the films that I had done till then, because I had not expected myself to play a character that was so different for me. And then to get that critical appreciation kind of gives you confidence that, okay, I can take on these challenges and I can try, new and different things. And now I think with Shershaah and the love that it's bringing, and that's come, I feel there's a sense of, but I won't say picky and choosy about films, but just really knowing what is it that you want to tell, what are the stories that you want to be a part of. And I think at every phase of your career in life, you'll have these different thoughts, or you'll have these different feelings. I'm just sharing where I am right now. But yeah, I think that's, if you've got the point, that's probably where I am in my headspace at the moment.
Yeah. So just building from that thought as well, you said you would want to do an action film, probably a period film. So
yeah,
once you've hit a top, does it become tough to sort of find that creative direction? And secondly, are you sort of in a phase in your career where you are now probably looking at, say, a reinvention or sort of a new direction in terms of creativity?
I think for me, reinvention has happened with every film. Like, I remember after Preeti, I was very lucky that I had Good News that came out in the same year, because and then Preeti had become very iconic for people. They had already like started associating me with the character. So when Good News came out, it was almost like, oh my God, she can do that also, because that was this very fiery, outspoken Punjabi girl from the demure and character of Preeti. And then came Guilty, where I was completely tattooed up. So I feel every film has had, in a way, like, I remember a lot of people debated about love stories being the game changer. Then when Kabir Singh came, they were like, oh my God, Kabir Singh is the game changer. So the audience was also confused that which was the film that was the game changer, or what was the moment. But for me, every single film in my filmography up till now has been personally for me a game changer, because it's changed, it's always added to my filmography, to me as personally and professionally, my growth as an actor. So I don't think I'm looking to reinvent. Fortunately, I feel even the scripts that are coming my way, directors themselves have approached me with parts that are very different. And to their credit, many of them who've approached me with these parts have sometimes make me think that, okay, wow, how are they seeing it? I've also not, like, can I do that? But then I go into it because they have that faith that, no, you'll pull it off and it'll be really incredible to see you playing something like this. So that feels very interesting. And yeah, I feel like I don't think I will, I'm going with the intention now I want to reinvent myself. But at the same time, that has always been there. Like, I've always thought of wanting to do. I don't want to be the same in any two films. I want them to feel different. Even the way I cry in two films should feel like a different, it's coming from a different space, because it is coming from a different space. So it's important for it to register that way, to come out, to come across that way.
Right. You've also recently won a Smita Patil award. So how did that feel? I mean, Smita Patil is such a huge name in terms of, she's almost like an institution in terms of acting. And to receive that award at your age and sort of, be compared to people like a Vidya Balan and Priyanka Chopra who previously won the award. How do you feel about such recognitions, and what sort of, how does that sort of help your career? Does that sort of add to your confidence as an artist?
It's very humbling. It's a huge honor to be, honestly, to get such a prestigious award. It does. It's a huge driving force. It definitely motivates you. I mean, to get this kind of acknowledgement, to be appreciated for your work, it drives you and kind of does give you that sense of motivation that, okay, now I want to do better and I want to live up to this, and I want to, I want to continue. I just want to keep the momentum going and continue to push myself and do better. And then, like you said, the list of people who received this award earlier in the past, they're all actors who I truly admire. So, to be recognized on the same platform, in the same, on that list, I think it's truly an honor.
Right. So has there ever been a Bollywood actress that you would have thought, oh, wow, I would love to be a part of her story on Cellulite, probably a Bollywood actress biopic? Madhubala.
I've already said it, or you could finish our sentence also. Yeah, I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to. I want to know more about her. I feel like I'm very intrigued, and she's a beautiful actress, and I would love to do a biopic on her. I hope there's a director who's listening.
Yeah, let's hope so too. Have you? Have you followed her career? Are there moments that inspire you? Any films of her that you've watched?
The iconic Mughal Azam, but generally, all her songs, everything, she's just, there's so much to know about her. And I think that's what, even when you do a biopic, you know much more, you go into deeper details of a person's life, their profession, the stories that we don't know, and at that time, they were so interesting if you read up or if you know any. So it would be very, very interesting to, to portray her on screen.
Definitely. And you said it yourself, you've got such a huge fan following, a lot of young people following you, say on social media, etc. So does that put, what sort of expectations do the fans carry in a star's life? Do you listen to them? Do you try to sort of, tweak your career choices according to what probably they expect of you? Like, you had a cult character with Preeti in Kabir Singh. So, probably the fans would want to expect you to do those kind of roles more. Do you sort of give heed to that, or it's your thing? I don't know. How do you feel about that?
They do have expectations, and I'm very bad with social media. Okay, like I'm not as active as I should be. But when I am active, I do end up reading the tweets or the DMs that they send me, and it's really cute because sometimes they're so angry with you for not saying something or not doing something or not replying, or like, you've been you've not posted, you don't care about us, not posted anything for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, okay, no, it's not because I don't care about you. I want to post, but truly I've been probably all over the place, so I've not found a moment to, and then I do post or I do give them something and I chat back with them, and I think it makes them happy, it makes me happy. But it's really cute because in a way they kind of like they're your army, they're your tribe, they're your people, and they hold fort for you, and it's just so cute to have. And they're so, I've done sometimes I do these personal Zoom fan meets with them where we've all been on Zoom and we've all chatted, and it's lovely because most of them are super young. Their age group is super young, and it's so cute when they form all these fan clubs and they have all these, and they make all these cute things and send you. It's really lovely. And then yes, they do also get into my film choices sometimes, and ma'am this and ma'am that. And I do. I remember for the longest time, I kept getting a lot of my fans from the South would message me on signing another Telugu movie. And I kept thinking about it. It wasn't that I didn't want to. I just didn't have at that point the dates to even sign because, there were a couple of Hindi films that I had signed, and then even the pandemic happened. But in the pandemic, I actually made a point. I said, no, I really want to, do another film. And then it just so happened that Shankar Sir's film came my way around the same time. And yes, it is a pan-India film. But it will make my Telugu, like the ones who've missed me, I'm sure they'll be so excited to watch it. And I hope we live up to that expectation because, of course, there's a lot of expectation when it's Shankar Sir and, with the way they've been waiting and asking me as well. So coming to that, I'm very excited to start that and, go full throttle and get into that zone and that character and go back to Hyderabad and shoot. I've not been there for a while. But primarily also to make my fans happy because they've been, I think they've willed for this more than anybody else. And that's so special.
Right. Have you, I know fans can get a little intense also. So have you ever had a scary fan moment?
Yeah, I have, but I've had a few.
Okay, you can share something that could go into a film.
I've had a few stalkerish ones where they've come in my house and then it's gotten a little too much of stalking. But we've handled it in the way we needed to. But mostly it's just so lovely when they, I think they're also I know many of them on a first name basis even, and they're just, I think they've been like with me for like they've been my fans for like years now, and they are the ones who make you. They're the ones who, like, I feel like they're really like, sometimes I wish if there's one thing I want to change about myself, and I want to be more active on social media to engage with my fan clubs and with my little army of fans.
I'm curious, why are you not like all head on into social media? Is that something holding back? Do you not enjoy?
I enjoy it. But it can be very addictive. It can take a lot of your time. And sometimes, genuinely in the past, it's a good thing that I've been busy for the last 2 months, especially with Shershaah and with even all the other work commitments. I was probably more active during, the time I had, the free time that I have, but I also feel it gets a little, you can really end up spending hours just scrolling and, mindless watching. There's so much to see on social media, but I've just been a little, too probably focused on work that I haven't had put enough time into that. But like I said, I'm saying primarily to engage with my fans more than anything else. But I'll work on it. I'll get there. I'll learn how to balance it.
I'm sure the fans are looking forward to that. Yeah. So this morning there has been a news where there's a lookalike of you called Aishwarya Singh. I think she's a doctor by profession. So she's been all over the news from today morning. So I feel that's the highest form of sort of fandom. That's that flattery that somebody's completely embodied their persona and their personality after you. So how do you react to something like that? There's a lookalike who's modeling their entire existence in terms of you. How is that humbling? How do you feel about that?
So Aishwarya, I had actually seen her. She recreated a dimple look and put it up on her Instagram, and I think I got tagged in it. I went and I saw it, and then I even commented on it. And she really did a great job. The way she, recreated the look and all of that. And then this morning, like you mentioned, I also got that forward. I don't really like the word doppelganger. I feel, yes, yours, as you say, it is flattering. But for me, what was more flattering was, what was more interesting was the fact that she's a doctor, and I think she's her own personality and she's her own person. And it's very sweet that she's, that she likes to recreate the looks. And she also, I think in the interview said that she's gotten a lot of these look a lot like Kiara and all of that. But I think she's her own person and she's fabulous the way she is, and she should be that. It is flattering also, and it's I just think everyone should have their own personality. Like I feel like if someone had to tell me, and I get that a lot as well, that you look like someone, so it is a compliment. But it's also you want to be known as your own person. And I'd love for her to be known as her own person.
Right. But I think in the past, people have told you that you look like Hema Malini. There have been comparisons.
Yeah, I have. I've heard this a lot. Again, it's a very big compliment. But now, what to say? I don't know. It's really sweet. I feel very weird about this compliment because she's beautiful and it is a big compliment to me. But I'm my own person now. Like I'm me. I look like me. I only want to look like me.
I was just going through your list of upcoming films, and it just never seems to end. I mean, there are so much of
Thank
work
God.
happening.
Bite your
Yeah.
tongue.
Yeah, I mean, how does that feel? I mean, is it good to be that busy and busy with such big projects? Is that something like is that a boon, or does that become stressful, hectic? How do you assess that?
I think it's all about the way you look at it. It's all your perspective. It can seem like like it's too hectic sometimes and feel stressful, or you can be really grateful and enjoy it. There are good days and bad days naturally for everybody, but I think I'm like, if I've always wished for this, then that's the right mindset, is to be grateful for it. But of course, it's not like it doesn't get hectic. I'm also learning to balance out my personal time and my professional time. And I think I do a fairly good job at it, unless my parents start complaining and saying, "You're never home, you're never eating meals with us, you don't spend time with us." But then parents, I think, say that anyway, even if you're sitting on the table with them and eating. But I think, yeah, this is a phase where I'm really excited about the work that I'm doing and about the films that we're making. And looking forward to next year to sharing them all with all of you.
And if you can just sort of, for your fans at ETimes, can you just sort of take us through all the big projects that you're working on? I know there is Jug Jug Jio, and there are so many more movies. There's Bhool Bhulaiya 2.
There's Jug Jug Jio that I'm currently shooting for, which will go on till December. Then I begin shooting for Shankar Sir's film, which we begin in November. There is Bhool Bhulaiya 2, which we've announced, which we've almost basically completed shooting for. That's coming out in March. And then I don't know, then when the others will be announced, you'll know of them.
Is there any
shooting for, and then the rest will be announced shortly.
Right. But is there a big project you want to announce over here?
No. All the ones I've announced, the biggest ones I'm announcing.
Right. One thing I wanted to ask you was, we were speaking about social media, we were speaking about expectations. When say a lot of people start talking about you, like people will make conjecture that when is Kiara gonna get married, or where is she going? How do you react to that? When the conjecture, when the appreciation gets too personal, when people start sort of infringing in your own personal space, how do you react to that? Do you feel like it's a part and parcel of my life and career, or do you feel like, oh no, I don't want this bargain?
I don't think I react to it. And it is a part and parcel of your career, I think, for people to get inquisitive. Why do they want you to get married so soon? I'm still young, and I'll get married when I want to get married and announce it. Marriage is like, this is like, like this annoying thing that people have. I think most people, when that marriage question, everybody gets annoyed. My whole generation, yeah. But I just don't react to it.
Okay. Is that the best policy, to not react?
That's the best policy.
Okay. Great.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Kiara. Thank you so much for your time.
It was such a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah, same here. And best of luck for those multitude of films that are going to release.
We all will be the ones to know soon.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.